You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 32 of the Battle Heat Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Garnett, and alongside me, as always, Mr. Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, but the Heat are doing terrible, Danny. The Heat are doing not that great. 5-game losing streak. Ever since I said that they were the best team in the East, we've been on an absolute tear, downward spiral. And man, I got to take it back. We're definitely not the best team in the East, Danny.
No, man, I was looking back at it. We were 13-6, I want to say. We were we had just gotten into the NBA Cup. I remember I was I was excited. NBA Cup 13-6. We got the Detroit Pistons on Saturday. We were hyped up for that. And we lose that game, and then we just spiral. Like, it's been really bad. In that 5-game losing streak, Tyler Hero's missed 3 of those games. So I know a lot of people wanted to point to Tyler Hero, but he hasn't even been playing all the games. He's only going to play 2 of them. It's the shooting. It's not that the shooting has been horrible. It has been. Let me rephrase that. It has been horrible, but it's not the reason, because the thing is, I think that we were shooting above what we should be shooting to start the season, and that's why they like almost tricked us into believing we were better than we were. Fontecchio shooting almost 50%. Yeah, like, everybody is shooting very well, and now everybody's shooting horribly. So we're not as good as we thought we were. I don't think we're as bad as we currently are. We're somewhere in the middle, I would assume. But in that 5-game losing streak, we shot 29%. There was one game where we shot above 30%, where it was that 1-point loss to the Magic. Then again, it was 29%, 24%, and then 29%. We've shot 4 out of those 5 games under 30% from 3-point. And then that one game that we did shoot over 30%, we lost by 1 point to the Magic. It's been a rough shooting go. And then Jaime Jaquez and Andrew Wiggins, which are the 2 players that I felt like were getting to the rim the most, have been missing bunnies. They keep missing at the rim. It's just those 2. Yeah, man, I don't know. Those 2 came back to earth, because Jaime Jaquez, who wasn't putting him down for 6th man of the year, and he came crashing down to earth also. It's just been a really rough go.
It has been, man. It has been. And you kind of nailed it right on the head, right? It's been the 3-point shooting. 3-point shooting has been absolutely awful over the last 6-7 games. Not only that, but the Heat aren't getting up as much shots as they were over the first, 20 games, where that we were seeing 195, 105. They only put up 83 shots last night, and the other team, the Toronto Raptors, put up 88, and they shot a much better percentage than the Heat. And unfortunately, we're shooting them now. We're just not making them. And like you said, at the beginning of the season, we were making them. And I think that this Heat team came crashing back to earth. But I still think that they're more like the team that started the season than the team that's played the last 5-6 games. I just think they're just going through a rough stretch right now. And it's everybody, right? It's not just the starters. It's it's the bench. The bench is not playing that well. Kel'el Ware, only 6 points last night, 13 rebounds. And like you said, Andrew Wiggins, who was at least giving you 15 to 20 points a game, only 10 last night, 4 of 12. Danny, not a very good shooting night from Andrew Wiggins. And then we saw a cameo appearance from Simone Fontecchio in the starting lineup, and he had an awful game, right? He only shot 1 of 5. He only made that 3 in the fourth quarter. But yeah, man, it's been rough, man. It's been absolutely rough. And what are you gonna do? I mean, these guys, they got to step it up.
If anybody's watching this that did not watch the game, it wasn't an ass kicking all throughout the game. That he had the lead going into the fourth quarter. Yeah,
not only that, the Raptors were 1-9 when going into the fourth quarter after trailing 3 quarters. So
they went on a 17-2 run.
Yeah, they got outscored in the fourth quarter. I think it was 34-12 or some crazy stat that they got out 32-19 in the fourth quarter. If it wasn't for that fourth quarter, they played okay the rest of the game. 22 points in the first quarter, 30 in the second quarter, 25 in the third. But again, that second half, Danny, really they got outscored by 13 points, by 16 points in that second half, and that was the end of it.
I don't remember if it was in the late third or early fourth where the Heat missed like 3 shots that I felt like should have gone. I think it was Andrew Wiggins at the rim. Like it was a sequence where they missed 3 in a row, and the Raptors came back, got 3 in a row. All of a sudden, the game flipped on its head leading into the fourth quarter. And in the fourth quarter, I felt like the Raptors looked like the Heat the first couple weeks of the season because I felt like it was just transition after transition. We couldn't get back in time. It was frustrating to watch. And let's be real, the everybody was surprised at the way that the Heat were playing, and the rest of the NBA is starting to counter it. They're starting to figure it out. They're forcing us to shoot from the outside more, and we're not doing it effectively. So it's going to be a tough goal. It's the first time all season that we scored less than 100 points. So it's rough. It's unfortunate, and I don't know. I don't see how this is gonna turn around because if we can't shoot better, and Tyler Hero just randomly, I got that update like I don't know how long it was, like maybe half hour before the game started, that he wasn't going to start. That was I mean, I thought that was bad. I don't know if a lot of other people might have been happy about it, but I thought it was bad. And we need Tyler Hero. When you're having a rough shooting night or you're just having a bad shooting performance, you need your big time players to show up and kind of pull you out of that rut. And that's what Tyler Hero is. Norman Powell had an not the great of a game. I think he ended up with 20 points, but I don't. From what I remember, he wasn't shooting great. What was he shooting at? He was Norman Powell was 5 for 15. Yeah, 2 for 7 from three. So it was just a really bad shooting night overall.
It was, but I still think that the Heat could have pulled it out, Danny. I think they could have pulled it out. It was just that fourth quarter where they got massively outscored in that run. It was 17-2, like you mentioned. And Bam Adebayo didn't get his first points until about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Guys that need to be putting up points in the fourth quarter, your go-to guys, your guys that make the most money on the team, Bam Adebayo, he needed to have a bigger fourth quarter, and he did it. And when Kel'el Ware was in there in the fourth quarter, he looked like he was just out of sorts, in a few of those minutes. He just didn't look like himself. And really, I blame the fourth quarter, Danny. I think the Heat played a pretty good game through 3 quarters. If they could have held on and had a better fourth quarter, I think that they would have put the Raptors away and they would have been 10-3 at home instead of 10-4.
Well, and that's the other thing that we were like, oh, you know what? They built a fortress at home where they're not losing at home. I think this is like the 3rd straight loss at home.
It is.
So that's gone away also. They're now in the 9th seed, right where the Heat like to be, right in the play-in. So that's nice.
There's still a lot of basketball to be played. There's still a lot of basketball to be played.
Absolutely. What were 26 games in?
The East is so tight that it's gonna be like this the entire season unless they can go on another run like they did at the beginning of the season. It's gonna be back and forth in terms of playoff seeding the entire season.
No, this is the part that really sucks. The next 5 games, they play against the Nets, which aren't very good. They're tanking, but they just beat the Bucks by almost 50 points, even though the Bucks aren't good. But so they play the Nets in Brooklyn. Then on the second night of a back-to-back, they go and they have to go to Boston to play the Celtics. Then they come home to play against the Knicks. Then they go to Toronto. Am I looking at that right? Yeah. And then we go to Toronto to play the Raptors again. And then they host the Atlanta Hawks.
I think the Knicks game's away, Danny.
You're right. I apologize. Oh, no, this is a road trip.
Yeah,
this is a 3-game road trip. They go to Brooklyn, Boston, and then to New York.
Yeah, that's right. 3-game road trip.
So Brooklyn and Celtics back-to-back, and then on Sunday they play against the Knicks. And they come home to host the Raptors again that we lost to, and then they go back on the road to play against Atlanta. So it doesn't get much easier.
Nah, but I think at least through
need to get that Brooklyn game, though.
Through Christmas, you've got 4 games left. You got Brooklyn, Boston, New York, and Toronto until we get to Christmas Day. I'm gonna be crazy, Danny. I'm gonna say Santa Claus is gonna bring me a 4-0. A 4-0.
You are crazy. The way we've been playing, I wouldn't say that.
Santa Claus is gonna bring me that 4-0, baby.
They need to to end this streak with Brooklyn, just because Brooklyn is almost openly tanking. Michael Porter Jr. is the only one keeping them afloat. So they need to go ahead and win that game. And if they could stop the bleeding, I feel like you go into the next game feeling a little better about yourself when you go into Boston and New York. But Boston and New York are playing very well right now. Boston, I'm not sure at what point they did, but they're up to fourth. And like you said, the East is very stacked right now, very close. So 1 or 2 losses. The Heat right now are 1.5 game out of the 3rd seed. So yes, the definitely the East is very tight, but those teams are all playing like the Heat, I guess. It's gonna be fun.
It is. And talking about the Celtics, I mean, they just lost the last 2. They lost to Milwaukee, they lost to Detroit, and their next game is on Friday against the Heat. So it's going to be an interesting next 4 games. It's going to be, I think, a telling sign about what this team is going to be for the rest of the season. And it's going to be interesting. So everybody should tune in.
Last question to you. The offense is obviously not looking good. Does Spo try to keep going with this whole new wheel offense where everybody just attacks the rim? And because obviously they're defending against it, right? They're sagging off, they're making you shoot. Or do we start seeing more pick and rolls and we go back to a more traditional offense?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both, Danny. I think they're going to continue with this Princeton-style offense where you see an open flowing, kind of spread out the floor, one-on-one. And then you're going to see Spo start mixing in some pick and rolls depending on the matchups, depending on what you see. You saw last night a little bit of pick and roll between Bam and Wiggins. Also, again, between Norman Powell and Bam. Also, Kel'el Ware got some looks where he was setting a pick. So I think it's going to be matchup, and it's going to be depending on who the team is, what's going on. But I think we're going to continue to see this free-flowing style of offense. I think Spo and the team has really, really bought into it, and they just need to execute. That's the biggest part, Danny. They need to execute.
And we almost forgot to bring up Nikola Jovic.
Yeah, man. Prayers to him, man. Prayers to him.
Yeah. And you know what? I saw him fall, and I didn't think that it was that bad of a fall. I'm still not sure what exactly it was that he hurt. I guess his elbow. But they brought out a stretcher. He didn't get on the stretcher. He ended up walking off with like a brace on his arm. So he's probably going to be out for an extended period of time. So
that sucks. Can't include him as a trade chip.
Okay, I was thinking it sucks for him, but sure, that too. All right,
man, with Giannis rumored, I mean, everybody is available on the roster except for Bam Adebayo. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Bam's had a rough go, also though. All right.
He has, but he's kind of the 1A guy or the 1B guy right now, and that's not who he is, Danny. He's 2, he's 3. He's your 1A, 1B guy on defense, but on offense, he can't be that go-to guy. And so I think if the Heat can bring in Giannis, it would be different. It would be very different here.
Yeah. And
I'd say one thing, they probably will switch up the offense if they bring Giannis. It'll be a much slower paced offense. I don't see Giannis running up and down the court like a madman like these guys are doing.
Run. He's a gazelle. He can run.
Yeah, but I feel like it'll be a slow down. They'll start using the picks. They'll start posting him up. It'll be very similar to what we saw when we had LeBron James here.
I don't see Giannis coming.
He's coming, man.
I think he's destined to go into the Knicks.
He's coming to Miami.
I hope you're right, but I think he's going to end up in New York. All right. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the MC. Leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And we will be back, hopefully, talking about a dub and a 15-12 record on Friday when they play against the Nets. So until the next one, have a good one.